Hello my beautiful friends and welcome to another vlog. This one will be a little bit different since my stay in Varna was actually a break from vlogging due to amount of work that week. Because a lot of you asked if I visited Varna, I want to share the little footage that I made during that week, starting with a really nice 3-hour bus drive from Veliko Tarnovo through vast landscapes of Bulgaria that were full of beautiful sunflower fields. I chose Varna as my location whilst my co-worker was on vacation and I had to take on extra work, which meant I'd be behind the laptop every day from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. But in the little time I had for myself, I wanted to be close to the sea. I found a super chill hostel online, Hostel Botanica in Tarakata, just outside of Varna, but still close to the beach, which was the perfect setting for my little work-cation. Since my work didn't start until 10 a.m., I would wake up every day around 8 o'clock, whilst the hostel was still very quiet and most of the people were asleep, and I had a very slow morning routine, which prepared me for the crazy amount of work I had to go through. I would meditate on the rooftop amongst drying linen whilst watching the Black Sea on the horizon. I'd salute the sun and stretch my body. I would make myself a light breakfast and drink my morning with ease before ever having to speak to anyone. Those mornings really meant a lot to me, and although my initial plan was to visit the beach every day before work, that only happened once, but I was still very happy I chose this serene hostel full of lush greenery and secluded little corners as my home base for that week. As I said, my work week was super busy and quite stressful that week, as I had to manage our digital media outlet and produce all of the content for it, which is a lot, by myself. We are usually 2 people sharing the workload, and now it was all on me, so more pressure. On top of that, my laptop decided it's not so compatible with the hostel's Wi-Fi, so it worked super slow. It was frustrating to say the least, but I'm really proud of myself for managing it all. Everyone at the hostel who saw me working told me I work way too much. And well, I agree. But that was a sacrifice I was willing to make for even having the opportunity to work remotely and travel for the whole summer, whilst basically still receiving a full-time salary. Digital nomading definitely has its benefits, but also many downsides, as it can get pretty exhausting, especially if you're moving locations a lot. Not to mention the FOMO you get from all the other travelers who are enjoying the country and sightseeing full-time. I think the trick is definitely in finding the right balance that works for you. In the afternoons, after work, so after 6 p.m., I'd quickly grab my towel and swimsuit and head down to the beach to catch the last sun rays and have a dip in the sea. The closest beach to the hostel wasn't the most astonishing, but it did provide me what I needed: sun and sea. For sure, it was more refreshing than 40 degrees I had all week in Veliko Tarnovo. It was a great place to relax, read a book, and simply observe all the vacationers. I'd usually buy some fruit on the way or bring some snacks, stuck my feet in the sand, and sunbathe until the sun went behind the hills. My evenings were usually pretty chill too, but the hostel did throw amazing feasts every night. The owner George and his team were amazing chefs and great entertainers, bringing friends, neighbors, and hostel guests together behind a big table in the garden. If you ever stay in Varna, I highly recommend you this place. After dinner, I'd usually just chill in the garden, hang out, talk to other guests, pet one of the many cats, and edit videos. Unfortunately, I only had time to visit Varna's beautiful old center once, and I was really impressed by the decorative facades and the colorful architecture. I noticed, unlike Plovdiv, Varna's streets were super green and full of lush trees that provided the necessary shade. Now that's good urban planning. I also noticed some really cute cafes, bars, and shops. There's definitely more to see and do than I had time. So until next time. I only had one day off while I was in Varna, which I took as easy as I could, releasing all the stress from the work week and making plans for where to go next. Although I was fully enjoying Bulgaria, I also came to a conclusion that on this trip I won't be able to accomplish what I set out to do, which was to start viewing properties for a potential project I wanted to start. So my logic and my intuition actually sent me on a trip to a whole new country I have never been before, to Romania. From Varna, I took a Flixbus to Bucharest. I was again window gazing through the vast emptiness of rural Bulgaria, whilst in my heart and in my mind, I was already planning my return to a country I hope to soon call my home. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in Romania!